In business, there's no room for guesswork. Every shipment matters. Every deadline counts. When you're trying to keep operations running smoothly, the last thing you need is uncertainty. That's why reliability is at the core of USPS Ground Advantage. From the moment your package is first scanned in, it moves through a secure nationwide network, aiding in a timely and accurate delivery. You get near real-time tracking so you can keep up with your shipments. And with affordable upfront pricing, there are no hidden fees or surprise surcharges to throw off your cost sheets. It all adds up to predictable deliveries you can depend on. Because knowing your logistics are handled lets you focus on everything else: your customers, your team, and the future you're building. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to start shipping with confidence. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
Downtown Faribault.
Best man in his wedding. Good buddy. That was a low one.
And I believe we're live now. Usually there is another commercial, but I believe we're live. We missed out on JMO's commercial, and that is where we are at today. JMO's Bowling Center, sports bar, all around fun place. So if you need something fun to do, come on out, bowl a game or two, maybe throw some darts, watch some sports on the big screen TV. And starting at the end of this month is volleyball. So don't forget that. If you have not signed up a team yet, I'm sure you can still get a team in. And if you just want to play as an individual, I'm sure we can get you on a team out here. So give Ryan a call out here to JMO's and get set up on a volleyball team. Also, don't forget that they do some great catering out here for graduation parties, business parties, whatever you'd like, whatever you got going on, and you don't want to cook. If you come out here, then you don't even have to clean up. But you can just order it and take it with you, or they can have and host out here and make it really easy for you. So today, Gordy is not here. Gordy is in some faraway land, I believe Texas, if I remember correctly. So we're going to have a little bit of a different show today, but we're still going to talk all about Faribault youth activities. So go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Where's sir? Hey everybody, it's Devin Pewowaruk. I'm the recreation coordinator at Faribault Park and Rec. So today I'm here to just give a lot of information on some of our upcoming youth activities. Got quite a bit coming up, so got a lot for you guys to hear. It's always a busy time leading up to summer, so it's been a lot of fun getting ready.
Yeah, and the city of Faribault does have a lot of youth sports activities, and not all just sports either. I mean, they have a lot of just fun activities for kids to do, don't they?
Exactly. We have a bunch of different camps where you're doing like fun game activities. We have some new programs down at the Viaduct Park that are a lot of free access, any age, drop-in activities that are just fun playing down at the splash pad and enjoying the summer. So we have a lot to offer besides just sports.
All right. So where are most of these events held? I mean, well, maybe it's hard to answer that because something like baseball, that's obviously not going to be at the community center, but some of the other events will be at the community center. So I guess that's not even a very fair question. But
I can speak on that a little bit.
Okay.
We have a summer camp out of Jefferson that's always really fun. Jill Stropman, our youth coordinator, runs that program. Tons of kids get out. You can either do a morning session, afternoon, or entire day. And then down at Viaduct Park, we're having a summer splash series at the splash pad. So we're going to have a lot of fun events down there as well.
Now, the Jefferson School camp, what type of camp is it?
For sure. Got that right here. So at Jefferson Fun Center, we do a lot of different games, crafts, and outdoor play-themed fun. We have a lot of staff that set up those games and make it really fun. It's outdoors, but then you have access to the shelter. So we do a lot of stuff on there. But that's going to be running from June 8th to the 25th. And then you have the 8:30 to 12:10 session, a 12:30 to 4:30 session, or you can do the entire day from 8:30 to 4:30.
Holy cow, those little kids would be tired, wouldn't they?
Yep.
They play for 8 hours.
Exactly.
Do they get a meal in there?
I believe that if you're doing that, you would get a meal.
Yeah. But that's really cool. It's not all sports based. They're going to be learning some crafts and stuff, but like it says, outdoor play. So there is going to be some activity and a chance for them to run off a lot of energy, I bet.
Exactly, and that one's fun because it's during the day. So then we also have our ones that are in the evenings. Those are more designated towards the sports.
Oh, okay. Okay, can you give us some examples of that? Or?
For sure. So for our younger kids starting off with baseball, we have the youth summer ball at Jefferson. So those kids are placed on teams and coached by Park and Rec staff. The equipment's provided, and that's for entering kindergarten for the fall of 2026.
Is this like T-ball or?
Yeah, so they have T-ball and then slow pitch.
Okay.
So
where the coach
up.
pitches, I assume? Slow
correct.
pitch by the coach. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So they have the little tykes, which is going to be the T-ball for 4th through 5th. And then the older kids entering kindergarten, I believe, is when they start that. And that one runs in June 8th, July 22nd, and then we also have June 9th through the 23rd. So we have a Monday, Wednesday soft pitch, and a Tuesday, Thursday little tykes.
And you know, programs like this are really important for the community of Faribault because this introduces kids to, in this case, baseball, and that would lead to Little League, and you know, hopefully they'd play in middle school, and then hopefully they'd play on the high school team, and then maybe go on and be a Laker. So
exactly.
You know, this is really important as a feeder program because they can, some of these sports they can play all throughout their entire school year and then continue on afterwards.
And they always say that you learn your life lessons on the playground. You learn how to get along with others, you learn rules, and you learn how to respect each other, and you learn to work together. Yeah. So there's those life lessons you pick up too when you're playing sports at a young age.
Yep, and I will never forget when my twins were in T-ball and they had this coach, and I mean this coach was high energy. He was kind of a gruff looking guy, scraggly beard, you know, shaggy hair and everything, but just a ton of energy, and I will never forget what he told the kids. He said, "Okay, kids, remember, baseball is a slow game that happens really fast, so you got to be ready." And I mean, I still remember that to this day, that baseball is a slow game that happens really fast, so you got to be ready. You got to pay attention. And that coach was just, he was awesome. I mean, he made it really fun for the kids, and I bet we have a lot of those, that same type of coach over here.
Exactly. Coaches make an impact, and that's what you remember. So one of my favorite ways that we like to coach our kids, for the North Alex baseball program, we hire a bunch of varsity players from the Faribault team to come coach the kids.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's the 3rd through 8th grade program, so a little bit older when they're learning like throwing mechanics, fielding, how the game flow works. And that one starts on June 8th, and then it runs through July, end of July 25th, I believe.
Oh, so that's a long one.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how many times a week? One?
That's Monday through Thursday.
Oh, really?
Yep. So
that many weeks, and it's 4 days a week? Wow, now that's a lot of baseball. Yep. So if a kid loves baseball, there you go. So grades 3 through 8, right?
3 through 8. So we split them up through 3rd through 5th and 6th through 8th. So 6th through 8th is the morning session, and then the younger kids come in the later morning.
Okay, cool.
And we're right down at North Alex Field number 3, right next to Bell Field. So at the end of the year, we go to the water park for a day, and then we go to Bell Field for a day, and usually have the Lakers coach come in, and that's always a good time for the kids to get the experience out there.
Yeah, and do you take them to a game, a Lakers game?
I believe we're looking at like a free ticket to a game type situation. I know Charlie, obviously, Lakers coach. So I actually worked with him at the blind school for a little bit back in the day.
Okay. We just had Charlie and one of their stud baseball players in 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was last week. I can't remember. It was last week, 2 weeks ago.
For sure.
But yeah, they came in and looking forward to getting their season kicked off. And they did kick off this week. I have not caught a game yet, but certainly plan on doing that.
Yeah, it's always a good time down at Bell Field.
Yes, absolutely. Great park. Great park.
North Alex is just a great park in general.
It is. It really is.
Yep. It's always fun seeing the fields used through the adult softball leagues and then the youth fast pitch, youth baseball. They're always down there using the fields. It's good to see. Even Special Olympics comes down on Wednesdays and plays out there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Cool. For softball?
Yep.
Cool. Very cool. All right. Any other baseball that we want to mention?
Don't have much more on baseball, but we have all our other sports. We have the youth tennis, which is coached by Jeff Anderson, I believe his name is, the Faribault coach.
And I'm a huge tennis fan, as most of our listeners know. And Coach Anderson, he coaches both the boys and girls teams for Faribault High, and he has been Coach of the Year, the Big Nine Coach of the Year for both boys and girls. So we're lucky to have Jeff. He puts in a lot of time. His son Nick played on the team, but his son graduated several years ago. So, Jeff is purely doing this because he loves it, and he loves tennis and likes to help out. So
the cool thing
Jeff.
about, exactly. So the cool thing about our program is, if you're not sure you like tennis, we actually do a free day on one of the first Saturdays here in June. So you just come down and see if you like it, and if you like it, then you can sign up for the program.
And I assume there's some rackets available, so they don't,
exactly.
They'll have some rackets available, and you can come down and, hit the ball. Great development for hand-eye coordination and also stamina. A lot of cardio in tennis.
Exactly, and that's a sport you can play for a long time.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. You can play into your 70s.
Exactly. And then besides tennis, we have youth golf, which is out at Legacy Golf Course, and that's run by Piper Hill, who works out at Legacy.
Okay.
Great golfer. So with that, you're just working on some of the basic skills, working on your irons, putting, and driving, so every part of the game. And we have 3 different sessions for that one. So that runs through June 2nd through the 23rd on Tuesdays at 5:30. The second session's July 7th through the 28th. And the third session's August 4th through the 25th.
And I would assume this would be like an introduction to golf, wouldn't
Exactly.
it? I mean, the kids don't have to, come in knowing how to golf. This is what they're going to this camp for, is to be introduced to golf and to learn the fundamentals. So, if you think, if you have a son, daughter, niece, nephew, cousin, grandchild, neighbor, whatever, a lot of these programs, please recommend them, because the kids always need something to do, and get them out of the house and get them active.
Yeah, and it's a great partnership with Legacy. Super appreciate them letting us use their facility for an affordable rate of $60 to get out and golf.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, our partnerships with different community organizations are great. So we actually, one of the cool things is the Rice County Safety Camp. So we've expanded to Rice County this year, working with the Sheriff's Department. So that's a really cool one. So that's when you get to learn safety education through the different demos by the fire department, police, Rice County Sheriffs, and things like that. They have their hands-on activities that will be running through June 29th through July 1st, and that's at North Alex. And that includes a t-shirt, a helmet, lunch, and snacks.
Cool. And again, now this is not sports-based, but it's a good activity for kids. So it still gets them out of the house and actually teaches something that, they can carry throughout their whole life. So who does that safety camp, or does that depend on what the topic is that day?
I believe it depends on the topic, but we include the firefighters and police, and it's a great experience to really meet those individuals that work in the community.
Yeah. And we have some great, really cool firefighters and police. So I bet they do a great job with the kids too.
Absolutely. For sure.
What else do we got? Have you mentioned swimming yet?
We haven't mentioned swimming.
Okay.
So this year we're not doing we used to run some swimming lessons out at the outdoor pool, but this year they're all going to be down at the community center.
Okay.
But that's where you learn your water safety and swimming skills with our certified instructors, and we have classes for multiple ages and levels. So that runs throughout the spring through the summer. And
swim lessons is always a great thing, It's just a great thing to know how to swim, because you might need it someday, and it's pretty important when you do need it.
Yep, especially living here in Minnesota with all the lakes around.
Yeah, again, gets the kids out of the house, gets them in an activity. And I kind of like the idea that it's at the community center, because there's not going to be any weather interruptions or anything like that. So, the parents will know that it's every day, the kids know that it's every day. It's not going to get canceled or anything. So that's very cool.
Yeah, they might be interested in going down to the aquatic center and playing on the slides and all the fun stuff that they do down there.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So that one's going to open on June 6th. So that's always a fun time with all the lifeguards getting in there and getting ready, doing their training.
Yeah. Do you know, are we set pretty good for lifeguards for the summer?
I think we're still have a few more classes for training and lifeguards. Okay. And they're not guaranteed to work from us if they're doing the class, so we offer to teach them. Okay. But then often, we're promoting our jobs through that.
Yeah.
So I know we have a few more classes that still have some availability. And I want to say at age 15 you can start becoming a lifeguard.
Okay, and that's we need lifeguards for both the community center and the outdoor
Correct.
pool.
Correct. Because throughout
Faribault Aquatic Center, as it's known.
Exactly. Yep. So if you're a lifeguard, you can work with us year round, because in the indoor pool we run our lap swimming times, water aerobics, and swimming lessons. So
Okay.
that's in the fall and winter as well.
Good, good
And then you
deal.
get the cool summer job out at the pool.
Yeah, sit out in the sun all day and
Chase around some kids.
chase kids. Yeah, make sure they don't.
Yep. Being
do it.
safe and everything.
Yeah, make sure they don't, run. And that was always a big thing. No running.
Exactly.
I
I remember.
still can hear it in my mind. That lifeguards say, "No running, no run."
Have you ever been saved by a lifeguard?
No, I haven't.
I was when I was a kid down at the Rochester pool.
Were you?
I went off the diving board and started swimming the wrong direction, and the slide current started pushing me out. I think my mom said she thought I was going to be fine, but no, the lifeguard hopped in and helped me out.
Okay. No, my parents sent me to years and years of swimming lessons. I think I was just a little shy of actually becoming a lifeguard. And I didn't want to be one, but so yeah, I'm actually a fairly good swimmer.
Yeah, I took swimming lessons. I remember I failed when they started doing the flutter kick and the butterfly stuff. I was like, that's too much for me.
How do you fail at a flutter kick?
Is the flutter one? The butterfly kick.
Oh, the butterfly, okay.
kick. Yeah, that one
Yeah,
was too much.
it's
Level 5 or something. So I did
Kind
it
of
for
like
a
a
few years.
fishtail,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You got to trust yourself a lot that you're going to keep enough momentum. I always know that. But anyway, okay. Anything
Yep.
else on swimming there? or-
Not too much else on swimming besides make sure you get out there and have fun. But then kind of attached to some fun water activities is the splash pad that we have opening up down at Viaduct Park.
Yeah. Do
that's-
we have an estimated open date?
We have the big event opening up on May 21st.
Okay, cool.
So we're hoping
Cool.
for great weather, obviously.
Yeah, really.
Hoping for some
Yeah.
good warm weather for kids to be running through the splash pad for the first time.
Absolutely. So May 21st is, folks, just count on it. It's going to be a beautiful day just
Yep.
so the kids can come down and open up that splash pad.
Yep.
I really think that's going to be a big hit, locally.
Exactly.
And it'll even bring in some kids and parents from out of town too, because not every town has one.
Exactly.
So I think it'll be a big hit, and I think it's
Yep.
going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool spot right down by the river and everything too. So it's like right in nature and just
Yeah.
feels really cool. Good vibes down there.
Yeah, and then you always got lots of activities at Viaduct Park and in the building.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. So the new thing we have is that what I mentioned a little bit earlier was the Summer Splash Series. So that's free drop-in activities for all ages. So we have a few different ones. We have the first one is the inflatable takeover. So that's going to have the bounce house, Gaga pit. So where you're like, I don't know if you know the Gaga pit, Royal.
No,
so
I
it's
don't.
an inflatable circle, and all the kids go on the inside and they hit a dodgeball on the ground, and you try to hit it into other people's legs to get them out. So we bring that to all our events and
Oh,
kids.
okay.
Really popular in elementary schools.
How big is that?
I would say it's probably 25 by 25.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so it's
it's,
space to run around, maybe a little bigger.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's a really fun one. So that's June 27th from 12 to 2. So you can run around, do all those fun activities, and then go cool off running through the splash pad. The next one is our Bubble Blast Bash. So that's a fun one.
Bubble Blast
Bubble
Bash.
Blast Bash. Yep, Mo came up with some good programs for this. So that's when you, what she's got down is you enter a world of bubbles with a giant wand stations, bubble challenges, and mega bubble blast. So whatever that means.
Whatever it means.
Yep, they're going to be having fun running around
Yeah.
playing with the bubbles. Sounds like she's got some fun toys that
Okay,
must be
cool.
doing some bubble things.
All right, cool.
That one's on July 18th from 12 to 2.
Oh, I like the name of the next one.
We got the Messy Masterpiece. Paint, play, and wash away. That is where you get to do the cool, colorful body art, and then you run around the splash pad to wash off. So you paint yourself up, and probably take some pictures with your friends,
Yep.
and then you run through and splash off.
Yeah.
And it looks like we got an award for the most colorful kid.
Okay. Obviously, it's non-toxic.
Yep, exactly.
And it's not permanent.
Nope.
I chuckle at that insurance commercial, where the college fan paints himself blue and it does it in permanent
Goes to
paint
work
or
the next
whatever
day
it
and stuck
is.
blue.
No, he had to give the valedictorian speech at his college.
Oh, gotcha.
He was blue. But I thought it showed good college spirit.
Yeah,
I would have
for
just
sure.
went with it, and said, "I'm so dedicated that I'm blue." Yeah. But no, that'll be fun. I bet because they'll get to paint each other up, paint themselves up,
Yep.
and then, like you said, run around the splash pad.
Exactly.
Have it all wash away.
Yeah, and then the other big program that Mo started actually this winter was a Marshmallow Monday program, and we're continuing through the summer because marshmallows aren't just for winter. So this one's a hands-on, science-inspired crafts and games that kids love, from the gooey slime and growing crest heads to fizzy art experiments. Kids explore, create, and make new friends in a fun camp-style environment. And then you stick around for that sweet s'more to top it off. And that's going to be running June 29th through the June 22nd, 29th, July 13th, 27th, August 3rd. And that's from 4:15 to 5:45 for ages 5 to 8 and just $8.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that is down at Vidoc Park, correct?
Yep, that is down at Faribault
And
Park.
that's important to point out because they have a fire pit down there.
Yep.
And you can make toast marshmallows for those s'mores.
Exactly.
They're not going to be just the old cold marshmallow. We're going to have toasted ones, I bet.
Exactly. And then throughout the summer, you're going to see some construction down there as well with building the ice rink.
Yep. We got the ice sheet coming in, so
Yep.
hopefully we'll have that. I don't know. We'll think it'll be ready next year.
Yeah, the plan is to be ready to go for next winter.
Cool.
So that's going to be a 10,000 feet square sheet of ice
Wow.
with a covering, and it's refrigerated. So
Yeah.
it'll be in good condition, nice, fresh, hard ice.
Yeah, we're it's refrigerated, from underneath up, and that way we figure it'll give us about an extra 2 months probably of use.
Right.
That's what we're counting on anyway. So
Right.
That'll be cool. And then in the off season, when it's not skating time, we can use it for flea markets and all kinds of cool things. We're
Right.
gonna have a cover over it to cut down on the sun and everything.
Exactly.
So it'll be a lot of fun, I bet.
And I don't know how far we'll get along with getting the actual grass in down on the splash pad side this summer, but once that's all in, be able to have like concerts down there, great green space to run around, have picnics, play football, things like that.
Yeah. Yep. Big open space there, so that'll be cool too.
Exactly. I always have the dream of getting a basketball court under the viaduct bridge. I don't think that's going to happen.
No,
that's my dream.
The state will frown on that.
Exactly.
I think, since
Can't build under a
Viaduct is
bridge.
Highway 60. The state has a right of way so many
Exactly.
feet on both sides of the of their roads and especially their bridges. So probably won't get anything underneath it. I know one of our former council members, Jana Viscomi, she always wanted workout equipment
Oh yeah, along the trails.
underneath the viaduct and stuff. But
Yeah, those are always cool to see.
But no, it's I don't think the state will allow that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Boy, we've listed a lot of activities.
Yeah.
haven't we? I mean, you can keep a kid busy
Exactly.
all summer long and doing all kinds of different things.
Right.
So, and I bet you haven't even touched on stuff that they will probably be doing at the library.
Yeah.
I have to believe the library is going to have a ton of activities for kids too. So, but that's not really in your realm, is it? It's,
No, I know they have stuff going on. I wouldn't be able to tell you the specifics, but tons of youth opportunities down at the library, and they have great staff there that connect with the kids.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. So,
Exactly.
any other activities that we've missed? or-
Yeah, well, there's one coming up on Monday. So that is the Star Watch out at Riverbend.
Oh, okay.
So that's when, hoping for good weather, of course.
Yeah.
But that's with the meteorologist Mike Lynch. He comes down with his large telescopes at Riverbend.
Oh, cool.
So you bring a lawn chair and you sign up with us. We're going to keep the registration open on Monday. I asked Denise if that would be okay, if I could mention it on the radio.
Yeah.
So you can still sign up and come down and watch the stars on Monday night at Riverbend.
Stargazing at Riverbend Monday night. That'll be cool.
Exactly.
Have you ever looked through a good telescope?
I can't say I have.
I haven't either.
No.
I mean, I've looked through some cheaper ones, but
Right.
I've never had the pleasure of looking through a good telescope at whatever's
We
up
had
in
a
space.
really cool planetarium at Mayo High School, where I went to high school in Rochester. That was
Okay.
always a fun time to go down and
Cool.
sit in the dark room and look up at the stars.
I was gonna say, they probably had a pretty decent telescope too, but
Right.
yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And that's something both parents and kids can get
Exactly.
into and do it together.
Yep.
So, or grandparents and kids,
Yep.
or neighbors and
Everyone's
kids,
invited
or
for this one.
uncles and kids, whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
For sure.
and that's Monday night. All right,
Yep.
and you can
Yeah.
sign up on Monday. In
Yep.
fact, so
Exactly.
you know.
Speaking of Granny's Royal.
Grannies, yeah.
Exactly. It's a day down at the community center. The Granny basketball tournament is going on.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a really fun one. The Grannies wear their old retro style gear and play the old style basketball. So it's free to come down and check out. If you want to donate, they have a thing for our youth scholarship fund that you can donate, and then they're selling sloppy joes as well. So it's a great time right down there. I'll probably check it out later today.
Now, do you have to shoot granny style?
I don't believe you have to shoot granny style, but I don't think there's dribbling, so they're passing
Okay.
the ball. There's like, I don't believe they do a shot clock, so they do all the old style rules.
Cool. I'd kind of like to see it. I think it'd be fun, and that's down at Community Center,
Yep.
and people can stop in and check it out.
I believe
Yeah.
the last game starts around 4 p.m. today.
Okay,
we'll
so
have
it's pretty much all day,
afterwards.
all afternoon?
Yes, we weren't actually able to have our open gym today, so got the notice out to everybody that the Grannies are taking over the gym.
That's cool. Now,
Exactly.
Teams from other cities, or how do they do this?
So there's a Granny Basketball League.
Wow,
Nationwide.
nationwide Granny
Exactly.
Basketball League. Now this is getting better all the time.
So Minnesota has 2 teams. Faribault is the Faribault Hotshots, and I can't remember if it was...
we actually have our own Faribault team?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. There's one other Minnesota team, but then there's 2 other teams from Wisconsin and Iowa traveling up to play in the
Wow,
tournament
that's
today.
really awesome.
So they do a pool play and then a tournament, and it's a good time.
Awesome. Age limits on this, do you know?
I want to say it's 55 and up, but
55?
I know Faribault's team has someone in their late 80s or early 90s playing.
Wow, really?
Exactly.
Holy cow. That is... that is. So, speaking of basketball, I'm going to do a little bit of bragging here. Our listeners have probably heard me brag about my great niece, Reese Ross. She has played for the University of Utah Utes for the last 3 years, was a starter this year, and she entered the transfer portal this year, and she just declared or just committed that she is going to go to Baylor in Waco, Texas. So I will now be a Baylor Bears fan for a year, and we're really hoping she has a breakout year and get some good development out of Baylor. They have a pretty competitive team down there, so really looking forward to watching that. So we've got another minute and a half, 2 minutes left. Is there anything we haven't touched on?
I guess the last thing I would want to plug is the scholarship for our youth activities.
Oh, yeah, the
that you can
Tommy
do.
Allen Scholarship Fund?
Yep, exactly. So we've raised over $50,000, mainly through our biggest support, which is Spike Fest, the amateur volleyball tournament we run. But the scholarship allows for youth to participate in our programs at half cost. So you just stop into the community center and you fill out a form and you can sign up for our activities half off. And it just excludes the open skate and private swim lessons and outdoor pool passes. But everything else youth-related, you can sign up for.
Yeah, that's a great thing. And my buddies Chris Willock and Mike Jarvis have run Spike Fest for years, and they do a great job at it. And it's raised a lot of money for the Tommy Allen Scholarship Fund. So, folks, if money's an issue, don't be afraid to go down and inquire about the Tommy Allen scholarships.
Yep.
Because you can get a kid into a lot of activities for not a lot of money then.
Yep, we want anybody who wants to participate have the opportunity to do so.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you very much for coming down today, Devin. City of Faribault certainly has a lot of youth activities for the summer, and that is great to see.
It is. It's always a fun time out playing with the kids.
We'll have to bring you back sometime and kind of do a recap now of this.
Yeah, I can give you a recap how the summer went.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I am Royal Ross with Trek Properties, located in beautiful downtown Faribault, right across the street from the post office in the Depot Square building. We also have an office over in Dundas. We have 4 pillars in our business there. We have space management, storage management, commercial management, homeowner association management for townhome associations, condo associations, and property management, which is our biggest division, where we manage residential apartments for primarily investors. So If you're looking for any type of help in the real estate world, I'm also a licensed realtor and can help people buy and sell real estate. But give us a call. We would love to talk real estate with you. Whatever you need, I think we can help you out. Phone number 507-334-3499. Again, 334-3499. Or just stop into our office in the Depot Square building. We're on the first level in Suite 110. So once again, wish safe travels to Gordy. We hope he's doing well. And thanks for tuning in.
In business, there's no room for guesswork. Every shipment matters. Every deadline counts. When you're trying to keep operations running smoothly, the last thing you need is uncertainty. That's why reliability is at the core of USPS Ground Advantage. From the moment your package is first scanned in, it moves through a secure nationwide network, aiding in a timely and accurate delivery. You get near real-time tracking so you can keep up with your shipments. And with affordable upfront pricing, there are no hidden fees or surprise surcharges to throw off your cost sheets. It all adds up to predictable deliveries you can depend on. Because knowing your logistics are handled lets you focus on everything else: your customers, your team, and the future you're building. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to start shipping with confidence. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.